Does it feel like you're always butting heads with your service team? Like nothing's easy, right? And if you're feeling this way, what you're also feeling is like it's holding you back from achieving bigger and better results in terms of your production as an insurance agent. If that's you, stay tuned. I want to share with you 5 tips that are really, really helpful to building a better relationship with your account manager, your service person, your main team that is supporting your clients. If you're not doing this, it's holding you back, right? And I think one of the mistakes that we make as producers is we get so focused on sales that we forget again about the team supporting our clients and how vital they are, how important they are to being successful. So here's 5 things that I've done, and I can say this: I've talked to a ton of account managers over the years. My spouse was one of them, and she actually, when she had a good producer she worked for, she loved going the extra mile. She loved doing her job. But when she had a producer that she despised, essentially, and I've not heard this just from her, but from others, their job was miserable, right? They did half-hearted work, not the best quality. They still did what they had to do, but they didn't go the extra mile to help that producer out. So I think it's really, really important that you focus on this as a producer. But the first thing that I think is vital is get the account manager what they need so they can do their job, right? So if your service person helps with the renewals, make sure that the sup applications, right, the lists they need, the loss runs, that you're helping coordinate that process and the obtaining of that information from the client. Too many times I think us as producers just pass it all off to the account manager and say, hey, handle it. That's fine if you want to operate that way. I just feel like it works a lot better if you can just get involved a little bit and help coordinate the process, right? So what this looks like for me is I'll try to structure maybe a pre-renewal strategy meeting where I'll coordinate getting the sup apps from the client. I'll invest the 20, 30 minutes to update that and to get the updates that we need, because I know it's going to basically ensure that my account manager and my service team get what they need to handle the renewal. So that's one of the bigger things I see. And one of the bigger complaints I hear, right? Service people they understand, especially if you're a newer producer, that you're not going to know everything. That is okay. But if you work hard and you just get them what they need, they'll be so much happier, and they'll be able to do their job because they ultimately have a checklist of a lot of different things and they want to be able to cross off as much as possible. So if you don't get them everything they need in one swoop, they have just lingering things out there, right? So make their life easier. Second thing, offer to help. And this kind of goes with the first thing, but offer to help, right? Even if your agency says, no, everything's on the account manager, everything's on the service team, offer to help. Say, hey, can I help you get this? Can I take something off your plate? Of course, your main job is to produce, right? But let's face it, I don't think you're making cold calls and networking for 6, 7 hours a day. If you are, kudos to you, but most of us were not. So there's going to be some downtime. Use that downtime to take some stuff off your account manager's plate if you can. Now, I'm not saying you get down in the weeds and paperwork and all that stuff, issuing certs. It's not what I'm trying to say, but I'm saying when it comes to like the renewal process or obtaining information or answering an email, let's face it, a lot of times I get an email come in to my service person. I'm copied on there. It's maybe a question about a contract, right? Review. And I know every agency is different, but if I can help out and say, yep, you meet these requirements, or I can offer to my account manager, hey, I'll handle this, and you take the time to look into the policies, make sure that they meet the COI requirements, do that, right? Not every time, but when you can. The third thing that you can do to help strengthen a relationship with your service people is just work on your communication, right? Respond to their emails in a timely fashion. Respond if they use Teams, whatever method they prefer. Phone calling, you have to kind of know how your account manager operates. So if you're a big phone guy, which I am, but I know an account manager hates the phone, and you can just kind of tell, I try to give in to their style of communication, right? If it's Teams or emailing, I'll go that route. Of course, I'm going to pick up the phone if I need to, but I try to work with them and meet them halfway on how they prefer to be communicated with. The last 2 points kind of coincide as well, but the first is, I'll say, is take the bullet, right? Mistakes will be made, balls will get dropped in this industry. There's a lot of emails coming back and forth, a lot of moving parts when you're managing an account and a book of business. So take the bullet, right? If there's a mistake being made, don't throw your person under the bus, especially to a client. If you're going to do that, I would do it offline, right? So the account manager doesn't know, and it's just maybe over the phone or in person. Just say, hey, Susie dropped the ball. Yeah, I talked to her. We're working on it. That's fine, I guess. But in terms of like an email back and forth, I've taken the fall when I know it's really not my issue before, and it could look like let's say you had a COI that was incorrectly issued, or a renewal was getting out late, and you know that it wasn't really your fault. Step and say, "Hey, I apologize. We will get better. Here's what we're doing to improve that. I take full responsibility, Susie. Let me know as your agent. Like we got this under control. We're getting better, right? Simple as that. And your account manager sees that, right? They're copied on that response, and they're gonna really that's gonna make them feel good, make them loyal. And the last thing I would say is give them praise, right? When they're doing a great job, make sure you're always telling them that publicly and privately. So privately, clearly just call them like, hey, Susie, love the work you're doing. It's amazing. I couldn't do this without you. If your agency allows you to bonus them, do that. I would highly recommend doing that. But then, the public praise is just to their boss and also to the client, right? When you respond to the client, just hype them up, talk them, make them feel good. So there's probably other things I could add, but those are 5 core basic things that if you do, I think you'll have a much better relationship with your service staff. And don't be above filling out a supplemental application or doing a contract review, or something that you think is outside of your scope of work once in a while. Let's face it, none of us as producers want to be account managers or service people. So have some empathy for what they're doing. Their job's really hard, and just appreciate them. Hey, if you like this video, do us a favor at the channel. Give us a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, comment below, and feel free to check us out on social, LinkedIn, Instagram, or our newsletter, where you can find tons of other good information we got for producers out there. Take care.